Coming up on today's Broncos breakdown, we got a couple topics lined up for you guys. First one being the latest Teddy Bridgewater news. We'll give you all the information on the injury front with him. Is it Drew Lock time in Denver with Bridgewater foreseeably being out for the rest of the season? And finally, we'll go to the Fire Vic Fangio train. We'll hop back on that bandwagon a little bit, and we'll wrap up the show with the latest PS2 talk. Plus, we've got another letter reading to Vic Fangio for all those subscribers we keep getting. But let's get into today's show, because it's Week 15 takeaways, news, and rumors. It's frustrating to see a defense hold a team like Cincinnati to 15 points and still come out behind, but that's the Broncos world we live in right now. But let's start the show with the latest Teddy Bridgewater injury update. Adam Schefter recently tweeted this out. Broncos quarterback Teddy Bridgewater has been released from the hospital and is, in the words of his team, doing well. Bridgewater now will enter the NFL's concussion protocol. It's exactly what you wanted to see. It's a very scary moment when Bridgewater went down on Sunday night, on Sunday afternoon, got the card out immediately. Just about the entire team came and surrounded him, went to the hospital, stayed there overnight. It seemed like a bit of a precautionary measure just to make sure everything was going to be okay. So very, very relieved and happy to see that Bridgewater was released from the hospital and appears to be doing well, like the team said, and on the track to getting better. But there's 3 weeks left in the season, and I say if you're Bridgewater, take the rest of the year off. You know how serious injuries can be for Teddy. He knows that path, that history. What are you really going to gain? I understand you're a competitor. You want to play for your next contract, but putting your life on the line once again after your second, possibly even third head injury of the season so far, it just doesn't make sense to me. If I'm Bridgewater, I'm taking the year off. But I'll pose this question to you. Should Bridgewater play another game this year? Give me a Y for yes or N for no down below. If I were him, like I said, I would just take the year off, right? Take the rest of the year off. You don't want to push your luck. You don't want to mess with a head or neck injury. It was a very scary moment. You just want to get better and be able to play next season, whether it's in Denver or for another team. I'll tell you who's going to be playing if Bridgewater's out for the rest of the season. Most likely Drew Lock. It was just a very lackluster and underwhelming cape, coming on, and maybe he can be the hero and save the day for the Broncos. Wasn't the case for Drew Lock. Went 6 for 12, 88 yards. Had a nice touchdown pass to Tim Patrick. Patrick did kind of most of the heavy lifting, went off for a good run there. But Drew Lock really needed to hook up with Courtland Sutton and couldn't get the first down. Then fumbled at the 9-yard line. It was just another Drew Lock. I figured out and I saw why they rolled with Bridgewater to start the year. And I understand it's tough coming in when you're cold and off the bench. But in 3 games this year, he's come in twice for the second half. That Ravens game, and then yesterday, and then for a couple downs in the Chargers game a few weeks ago. He hasn't done much. Completion percentage, 55%, 227 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. We'll look at some other stats of his in just a second. But look at this awesome deal going on at Fanatics right now. You can get both these polos, not one, but 2 polos, a great set, 50% off, just $35 at chatsports.com/Denver Polo. Use that link at the bottom of your screen. I'll also have it in the comments and the description of this video. Basically, if you want to give a friend or family member 1 polo and then keep 1 for yourself, you got the 2 for the price of 1, and it's 50% off, $35. Make sure you check that out. It's not going to be around forever. Use the link chatsports.com/Denver Polo. It's also in the comments and the description of this video. Other Drew Lock stats here. In his career in Denver, played in 21 games, and those are mediocre numbers. For me, it's the completion percentage that I really look at, because there's something about Drew Lock in completion that just hits different. When he misses a player, he throws it 1,000 miles per hour, and it just rolls down the entire field. Accuracy has always been a huge issue for him, and when he's had a chance this year to step in and be, Superman, he's fumbled his opportunities, literally and figuratively. Sure, it's not easy coming off the bench when you don't get the first team reps and you're kind of just tossed into the game and your team's trailing, but go back to the most recent game. You're in the red zone. You're taking the team to the red zone twice. And one time, the most important time too, you fumble at the 9. You should have handed it off. It was a botched RPO. And most importantly, you just can't fumble that kind of play. It was too soft. You just kind of tucked it up right there. And just easily the Bengals defenders ripped it out. How fun it would have been if the Broncos got the ball back. But the other thing is then you have fourth down. And I get it. It's fourth and very, very long. It's fourth and a country mile. You're probably not going to get a first down anyway. But just the lack of, I don't want to say effort, but drive to at least give your player a shot. Throwing it to the bench out of bounds, throw it up. At least let it be picked. It's giving yourself a chance for a pass interference. It's just frustrating to see this because I wanted Drew Lock to succeed when you draft him second overall in the second round. But once again, we've seen Drew Lock come in and just be underwhelming. So grade Drew Lock's performance for me from Week 15. I was surprised to see a lot of people in the comments of my last video not really too down on him. I was pretty down on him, but give me an A, B, C, D, or F. This will be the pinned comment. So if a YouTube ad break comes on by, scroll on down, reply, let me know. I'm going to give him a C. Average, because I'll give him a little credit. He threw a touchdown pass to Patrick. He came in off the bench. So he gets an average grade. I'm just trying not to be too harsh on the guy right now because, one, yeah, he wants to do well, okay? There's no point in kicking someone when they're down. He knows he screws up. He knows he screwed up fumbling the ball there and just not moving the ball up and down the field, missing Cortland Sutton on what would have been a huge first down catch. But it's a C average for me. Maybe even look at Brett Rippon. I wouldn't be shocked if Bridgewater's out for the rest of the season, and they make it a bit of an open competition between Brett and Drew Lock going forward. What's a great competition we got going on right now is with our Raiders Report channel here at Chat Sports. We're starting fresh this week, and we are racing them in most subscribers. Right now, we're a little bit behind, but we can have plenty of time to catch up just Monday. So hit that big red button, subscribe. Let's pass the Raiders Report in subs this week because the Broncos, I cannot stand a loss to the Raiders. It was just demoralizing when Denver lost at home. I heard it from Raiders Nation for days and weeks. They were all over my inbox and DMs. So subscribe right now to the Broncos Breakdown. Let's catch them and let's pass them in subs this week. All right. Calming down because I just want to beat the Raiders, not only on Sunday, but in subs too. Vic Fangio. We back to the fire Vic Fangio train? Well, he's 19-27 overall as a head coach in Denver. And to me, it's the home performances. Too many times this year, the Broncos have had a great chance at home coming off a big win to really capitalize and move on momentum. They started the year off 3-0, and you're at home against Baltimore, and you lay an absolute egg and get your shit kicked in. And then at home, like I said, this week, playoff game. Because here's why it was a playoff game against Cincinnati. The Broncos and Bengals were neck and neck. After the win for the Bengals, they're in the 4th spot right now in the playoff picture. The Broncos fell to 12. So this was a win or go home game. Clock management, though, for Vic Fangio continues to be his biggest Achilles heel. End of the first half. Just no sense of urgency. And they had plenty of time. They had over 3.5 minutes and all their timeouts. And what do? They just kind of slowly bled the clock down and gained nothing from it. This is a team that struggles to produce points offensively. You saw in the last graphic, they are ranking 23rd in points per game under Fangio this year, the highest it's ever been. That's a very bad peak if it's 23. And so clock management and just this Broncos team really struggling to get any sort of momentum offensively. You know that they go on dry runs. You know that they can be a desert sometimes for bathing in points. So why do you just take your time and take your foot off the gas at the end there? And then the end of the game, just botch timeouts once again. It's clock management for Fangio that your offense is struggling. So help them out. Do what you can on your end to help the offense succeed as much as possible. But speaking of Vic Fangio, let me pose this question to you. Should Fangio be the Broncos head coach next year? Give me a 1 for yes or 2 for no. I've gone all over, the spectrum. I was out, I was in, then I was out, then I was not really in, but I went, if you get Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, let Fangio run the defense, I could come around to it. But at the end of the day, this is just, madness. We're just going in circles here where you've seen Fangio's team have 2 consistent things to them. They have horrible clock management, and the offense can just be very redundant and bland and just tasteless. So it's another letter time here at the Broncos Breakdown, because I told you guys a couple weeks ago, for every subscription we get, we're going to write a letter to Vic Fangio, and we've got another one coming up in just a second. But we do want to give a couple quick shout-outs here and some love to this guy, PS2, because he had yet another great game this past Sunday. He was going up against Jamar Chase, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL just as a rookie, and when he was on him, he was shut down. It wasn't complete white on rice in terms of Surtain versus Chase the entire game, but at the end of the day, you held the guy to one reception for 3 yards. I mean, it was just zero dark 30 coverage for Jamar Chase, never got involved in the game, and Surtain's been awesome this year. He has been prolific. He has been one of the best rookie corners in the NFL. Look at his 2020 numbers, 4 interceptions, 12 pass breakups. He's got that touchdown pick 6 that came in the Chargers game. And then in coverage, kind of the nitty-gritty numbers, you look at them here. When quarterbacks are throwing to Surtain, 46% completion percentage. He's allowed 419 yards and 3 touchdowns. His Pro Football Focus rank puts him in the top half of corners as a rookie. I go in and out sometimes on liking PFF grades. I think he's way better than 61st, but still, as a rookie corner in the NFL in a pass-happy league, to find yourself in the top half, pretty good day, I would say so, if you're Surtain. So like this video if you think PS2 is just a flat-out baller. I understand maybe looking back wishing you got a quarterback in the top 10, but listen, you definitely did not miss on this pick with Surtain. He has become one of the best corners in the NFL, and he is just ascending up this Broncos defense where you know it's just a matter of time before he's just the face of the defense, and you know that Mahomes, Herbert, and whoever's at quarterback for the Raiders in years to come will have a nightmare opponent when they play Denver because they're going to face Patrick Surtain. On to the letter now. Here we go. Here's what I wrote, my good friend Vic. Dear Victor, we're first naming him this time. I'm not mad, sad, or even disappointed. We will skip past all of that and get to a couple thoughts I have. Number 1, invest in some watches. Wristwatch, analog, digital, pocket watch, even a sundial. Number 2, Merry Christmas. Things Broncos Country would like for Christmas. First, Cortland Sutton to be in the same zip code as the football. Second, for Jerry Jeudy to take some Claritin or Allegra and get over his allergy to scoring. Luckily, you get the Raiders this Sunday, and there's no more dysfunctional and toxic organization than them, so I look forward to penning you next week after the win. Good day, sir. Keep subscribing if you want more letters. We're going to get changed. We are going to get back to being above 500 franchise. It is way too proud and storied of an organization to be on a 5-year drought with no playoff appearances, and it doesn't look like any playoff appearances coming anytime soon, despite a loaded roster in so many aspects. So keep subscribing to the Broncos Breakdown to get this team back on track.